What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, TikTok? And what's up, Sir Daryl?
What's up, Jeffrey Jordan? And what's up, Rumble?
Rumble thing. I haven't been on there so long. I'm not sure if our account is still active or not.
Are we on Truth
What you
Social?
got for us? Nah, you tell me. You got to set that account up.
We gotta get on. I mean, listen, we half the country is on Truth Social. We gotta get on there. We gotta go
Then do it.
after.
Nothing stopping you.
Gotta go after everybody. Should be watching Perry Necessary. Everybody.
So what's stopping you from putting us on there? What's
I,
stopping you?
I'm gonna get us on there soon. Don't worry, I got it.
Okay, waiting. We waiting. So we got it live here. By next episode, we should be on there.
You know, I got a
According
lot going on. We'll see.
Oh wow, wow. All right, so boom. What we doing, sisters today? What episode we watching?
We are season 8, episode 14. Knock knock is the name of the episode. I don't know what it means.
All right, let's see.
Get into it. What? Why? Why she gotta walk out with bait? Why she gotta walk in with her nipple just on the verge of falling out of that shirt? Like, what is the purpose of that in this scene? Did you notice that?
That's probably how Andy wanted it.
I mean, it wasn't like just a revealing outfit. It was that the other part was just all the way down. It's just a bit much.
It's an entrance, you
Look
know.
at that. Look at that. Come on. Come on, man. What?
Yeah, don't you think she like she's a grand person. You can't imagine her staging that to make that entrance to do that.
But for
I'm
what
pretty
gain?
sure
Like,
she
to what gain?
it doesn't. You trying to tell me she didn't see Robin entering in the building and she didn't stand back and watch him go in and was like, I'm gonna go in right after him. Let me fix my my spaghetti strap and pull it down. You know, she's the type of person to on Thanksgiving to order a 4-course meal, then switch the pots and pans and put a little flour on her chest and walk out. You know, you walk out with the tray like you cooked
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like
And
you've just been
she's
burning.
that type of person. Mm-hmm. She's that type of person. But
All
we already
right.
know that.
I am here as Penelope Williams' legal counsel.
But someone just came in for Miss Williams. And who are you?
I'm Andrea Barnes.
Andy, my sister's life is on the line.
Yes, and I understand your frustration. Please. Okay? Please, can you just trust me?
Trusting you is the worst mistake of my life. Every
Pause
time I
it.
do, I end up looking like a fool.
Like if he wanted no ties to Andy, why didn't he get his own lawyer? It's not like I can't believe that he's completely broke. I'm pretty
Mm,
sure he does have some money.
yeah.
You know, let's just say he doesn't have any political ties anymore, like we talked about before. Anybody can pick up an old school phone book. You don't even need your phone book no more. You just Angie's List on your phone. So if he wanted to get any type of lawyer, it's at one click of a button.
This also is a
But
high
you chose
profile
to.
case. This case is on the news. So high profile cases, you can be poor and get a lawyer because lawyers,
Exactly.
I mean, a good lawyer too, because a lawyer wants to look at the facts of the case, decide whether or not they can get the person off, and that will make a name for that particular person or that firm in the legal world. So whether he has money or not, he couldn't get a lawyer. You're right.
Right. So it was just so funny, like we talked about last time when he was just like, "Oh, you know anybody? You know any?" It's like, what? Really? Okay.
Wait for me. You started without me.
I know, babe. I gotta get to work, and this has been on my mind all night.
I hope we ain't mess up. I told
Pause it.
Andy to
Pause it.
suspect
Pause it for a
Robin.
second. How much? How much time do you think they put into that board every day, especially Fatima?
I don't know. It looks like that's been occupying their life.
Very detailed, based on nothing apparently, because
Nothing. They
none
ain't
of
got
them
nothing.
are.
They ain't got nothing to go off of.
Everybody's up there. It's just like that's just like me coming up with a board and everybody I know I come across, I'm gonna put up there. I'm gonna put the mailman up because he crosses. They got everybody up there. You know, my problem with that in Fatima is just not too long ago she was stressing how she doesn't have time for nothing else. I don't have time for school. That's why I'm failing. That's why I'm failing with this. I don't have time to myself. But you got time for this mess. How does that work?
Listen, she's
I'm listening.
trying to clear everybody's name.
Hmm.
Sometimes
Okay.
emergencies take place, and you gotta make it a priority.
All right. I'm with you. Go ahead.
Look, babe, we didn't have a choice. I couldn't let her get back in bed with Robin without having all the information.
Wait, Andy, Robin again?
No, Zach, not.
And to be honest,
Also, they are working under the premise that they know all of the people that Gary screwed over. If Gary is anything like when what we know of him, there's hundreds of people. I mean, there's people everywhere, people they never heard of that Gary done stuff to. Hell, Gary had a
Right. Yeah,
whole
well,
extra life that they didn't know nothing about. They only knew about Penelope in interim. And wasn't there another girl up in there that they found out about?
I don't know, but I mean, to your point, when we met Gary, he was already a popular and in demand hedge fund manager, screwing people over. So he was already screwing people over well before them.
Yeah,
So you're right. You're right. This tight circle of people who they have on this board makes no sense.
yeah, yeah. Gary done. I mean, we have the is the family of his ex-wife up there? Is the family of the woman that he killed up there? Probably not. Just the people that they know in their own little circle. That's the only people that's up there.
I'm being serious. Y'all still friends?
all right, I'll pull up.
Good. Bye.
Can you imagine somebody saying that about somebody who actually was your friend, and you don't ask any questions about what the hell you're talking about, the scare? Like, Jeffrey had a scare. Oh, I'm headed over there. I don't know. Like, I would definitely be wanting to know some more information right then and there, wouldn't you?
I would.
Mm.
What'd you forget?
Can we come in?
Two things. Do you think Sabrina and Rich crossed paths as she left?
But they would have
That
to.
that was Rich, right?
Yeah, they would have to have.
All right, so I'm guessing she just probably like, oh, good luck and just walked off. Secondly, if you were Rich, would you be at that house the next day after what happened?
If I was him and I was so into her, maybe.
Hmm.
I mean, he
What?
he 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 is really into her, and he seems to be trying to like he's not letting that stuff phase him. But yeah, with my personality,
Yeah,
no, I would not.
I know you because you give up. Uh,
Yes,
um, but and I'm gonna put you in the category as an average person. How much effort are you willing to put towards somebody that's not equal? The effort isn't equal. Put it that way. You know, and when do you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm putting in a lot of effort, and this person is really pushing me away. So when do you kind of just drop back?
the moment that they start pushing me away, like
Right, and that's
I can't even like get to the point that I'm exhausted from being pushed away. If I'm being pushed away and I'm clear that I'm being pushed away, I'm staying away. Like I don't feel the need to overcome people's objections like a lot of people do. I just don't feel that need. If you have made your decision, then who the hell am I to think that I'm so great that I'm going to overcome it? That's the way my brain thinks.
facts. I'll agree.
Yeah. The only exception to that would be like if it was my kid. I want to say my mother, but I guess I that's just a hard situation because I just can't even fathom that. I can't fathom my mother pushing me away like that. But yeah, no, in general, if somebody shows signs that they don't want me around, they end up having to come find me, not the other way around. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Premium shipping just
Pause it. So is the salon closed, or are they in like the back office?
I think they're in the back office. I'm pretty sure it ain't closed.
Jesus. So she's being a boss, Trey and Pam.
Yeah, Pam is handling
All
business.
right, got it. Um,
Tyler did not direct that scene. Tyler was off
I was,
set.
was it even necessary?
It
Like,
wasn't necessary. It wasn't
but
necessary. So one of Tyler's mentees probably did direct it, and you could tell because they went out of their way to do expression, meaning before he mounted her, he reached down and you could see with his hand he adjusted something. He did the insertion. He then moved and thrust it. But this is what Tyler is talking about. Tyler wouldn't have done it that way. If it was Tyler, first of all, it would have been just as unnecessary, but it would have lasted so much longer, and you would have seen so much more, and you would have had some sort of a scene with the bed, or they would have been on something where his leg sticks out. That's the typical Tyler move. The camera's at the foot of the bed, the leg is sticking out to the left, and that's there was way too much emphasis on Pam for Tyler's liking. There would have been more emphasis on
Trey,
what's his name? Yeah, Trey.
I mean, there was a lot of emphasis on him. It's just to me the scene was just odd. Hey, but that's typical Pam. We've seen her do something like that before. So
We have. But yeah, Tyler did not. He did not direct that scene. Tyler, look, if he's seen this scene, he'd be pissed.
Maybe they found an STD that I had a while ago that I wasn't aware of. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say this, that even though I haven't shown any symptoms, my brother hasn't been getting tested as regularly as I should have.
Well, you definitely should be getting tested regularly. But I do that, so don't worry about it because you definitely did not give me any STDs.
Okay.
pause it.
Baby.
Thank you. What the hell is going on here?
So he mentions like past STDs. He doesn't get tested regularly as he should. And that can include anything. You know, STDs can be a real issue for women who are trying to have children, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
She is just like so nonchalant
Mm-hmm.
about this. I mean, even though they're not going to have children the traditional way, but still, you know, they're having freaking sex. And yeah, he's probably using condoms now, but you know, freaking herpes from kissing him or whatever you want to call it, and all type of, you know, like she was just real nonchalant about that comment to me.
And she's doing more than kissing him. I think we saw her do more than kiss him before. And what I remember her doing to him, I don't think condoms were involved in that either. Um, it's interesting how he's talks about that, and then her response is, "Oh well, don't worry, I because I get tested." The only way her theory even now it's not ironclad, but the only way her theory is really something that can be considered is if they are having constant raw sex and then she is going to get tested. And so the theory would be if you had something, I would clearly have it by now because I get tested all the time and you're constantly transferring your seed on over to me. And so whatever is in there hasn't done anything to me because I get tested all the time. If they are using condoms, then her analogy of you haven't passed it to me means nothing. It just doesn't mean anything. But even in that scenario, to just kiss him and say, "Oh, everything is okay," is a little odd.
Very odd, very odd, but okay.
Yeah, there's no scenario where this is normal.
What's up, my G? Your boy lying? You be quiet.
Don't touch him.
Karen was worried about you. She knew I would be too. So
Why would Zach know she's at home and not at work?
I'm a, you know what? That's not too far fetched for me because he used to work there. I'm pretty sure he texts one of his friends like, "Is Danny working today?" And they're probably like, "No, she's not here." So I don't have an issue with that because he actually used to work there. I'm pretty sure he knows a ton of people at the airport. He probably made a phone call. They said she wasn't there. She's home. So I don't have an
All
issue
right.
with that.
Okay. All right. It's also 2025. They were friends, so he also could possibly know her location. A lot of people do. I'm sure all of the sisters have their location trackers on. And he might be close enough to Danny where they just never cut that off. That's another scenario.
Yeah. I just feel like once he left the airport and he cut ties with Karen, you know, I don't see him coming to visit Danny like that.
Yeah, I think this is the
But
first time on the show he's been back.
yeah, I, not too odd to me. But I guess they were work friends. You know, you got what you call work friends and then friends. They were just work
I
friends.
do not
You
agree. I
know,
do not see them as just being work friends. I think that they've
they
shown
were
signs
cool
that
at
they
work.
I know that they were friends at work, but she had friends at work as well, and he was able to go way above and beyond. Like they yelled at each other at work. They checked in on each other at other times. I don't. I think that you
They
wrong for put.
did. I agree, but you know he didn't. He dated he dated Karen, so you know of course the friendship evolved beyond just work. But I'm saying aside from it, okay, he stayed at her house when he didn't have a pot to piss in. That is true. I'm pretty sure that happened many a times when Karen and him had an argument. I don't know. I might side with you and take back what I said. I still think that it was more of a work friendship, which is, you got plenty of work friendships that you go out to eat, you do this and that, but it, I don't know. I just felt like it's more of a work friendship to me. That's
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. I
yeah.
could
I've
be
always
wrong.
seen them as like literally actual friends who, because of Karen, their relationship was really complicated, but that they were really, that they actually loved each other. Not in love, but loved each other. And if it were not for Karen, they would have been doing the do.
I don't think so because it would have happened already. It would have happened before. It would have happened before Karen. You know. It would have happened. So that was never meant to be. Zach is not her cup of tea, vice versa. Because if that was going to happen, it would have happened. That would have happened.
Pick things up with him too quickly after Preston.
do you really think that, or you looking for a reason to run?
I just realized something. This is going to sound really silly, but I know that Sisters and Fatima are two completely different shows. I mean, Zatima and Sisters are two completely different shows. When I watched Zatima and Preston came in there, for some reason, it never occurred to me that Preston is just back in the same city with Danny. Like right in the same area. They're just not showing Danny because it's a different show. But basically, he's back, and in my brain, when I'm watching Zatima, because I don't see the other people, my brain subconsciously puts them in a whole different city. I don't know how that happened because she goes to work, but in this scenario that Preston is back, he's just right, but he's just not running into Daddy, but he theoretically could because he's right there in that same environment with her. And for some reason, I didn't even think about that until right now. I don't know why.
Good point.
What did Fatima accomplish just there? Do you know?
I don't know. We will never know.
One never knows.
Don't know what I would have done without you. I was ready to accept my fate, but
I just did what any attorney would do. There's anybody you should be thanking? It's Andy. Andy.
Oh, is it? Oh, Jesus. That was the end of it, right?
Yeah, well, that was not the end of the episode. It was the end of that clip.
Um, this episode is like a snooze fest. Why did Andy just run off? Like, she obviously, for some reason, she already pointed out that she's not a defense attorney, and she comes there, I guess, expecting Robin not to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and he saves the day. He
Mm-hmm.
accomplishes what she originally wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's running off,
Mm-hmm.
pissed off. I don't get that. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
I don't know what she actually expected. I mean, no matter what is going on, um, Robin is an attorney and supposedly a good one. So, stop being so shocked that he did his job.
And if it was the doubt that she had, because I think Fatima put it in her head, put it in Andy's head that, oh, Robin may not have Penelope's best interest, but now we know, at least in the moment, we know that's not true because he got her off.
Yeah,
Or she's going home. So
yeah, yeah.
good afternoon. How are you guys? Well, I'm sure you're wondering why I called you in.
I mean, I haven't
pause
been
it.
able to think about much else.
That's a different nurse.
Is it? Well,
That's
actually, I think that's an
that's
actual
different.
doctor. I think that's a doctor, right?
Well, that's a doctor. Well, whatever. But the heavyset black lady, I always put her in the same category, me being biased, but I was actually paying attention, and this is a different person.
Okay.
This is a different person.
I have received the. Oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something else? I
No,
received the information back from my daughter that clutch means win. Like somebody got a win. They are victorious. So I guess
nice.
she accomplished her goal.
Penelope.
I'm going to revoke your access here if you're going to pop up whenever you feel like it.
Nobody should have access like that. Nobody. Nobody. If you that is basically like just giving somebody a key to your house that they just can use. In the case of where Andy lives, there is no doorbell. None. So the only warning that somebody is coming if they don't call, the only warning that somebody is coming is if they don't have access and the doorman has to call up. That's it. Nobody should have access where the elevator could just open at any point and they just step out in their living room. That nobody. You disagree?
No, I agree. I might get disconnected for a second, so they're all.
All right. So if he does get disconnected, it's all right. Everything will be a gravy as we get back. But we are watching. What are we watching? We are watching Sistas, season 8, episode 14. Knock knock. And Jeffrey Jordan got kicked out of the system, but he's coming right back into the system. And when he gets back in here, we will watch the rest of this episode. Look at him. I told y'all he'd be back. Everybody was panicking, thinking you weren't coming back. But I calmed everybody down and let them know.
Yeah, right. All right.
Okay, I've got one more for you. Oh my God. Gary. It's her. She's the one who stabbed me.
we gotta, we gotta behind.
Get
it.
out of here.
I mean,
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
sorry.
whoa,
I mean,
whoa. All right, so that was, I guess, the end of the actual recording.
He
Um,
was going crazy today. Oh,
oh well, at least it ended on a decent note. You know what would be? Well, no, everything's ruined now, credibility wise. I was about to say, what if it turned out that she was the one who stabbed him? But now he's saying that Zach is the one who actually hit him. There's no way that that happened because their dialogue when nobody else was there wouldn't be what it is right now. That would mean they were in on this together. So he's either lying or hallucinating. But damn, it could be interesting if Fatima was actually the one who stabbed his ass.
could be.
No, it's not because how you go remember that and then remember Zach hitting him, and we know that they didn't. This was not a tag team thing, unless they somehow got together and said our house might be bugged, so we're just going to talk like we don't know what's going on out loud in order to get them off the trail. And I don't think they're doing that.
Nah, nah, I don't think so.
All right, so if you are watching us on Facebook, we're about to invite YouTube in here and talk about this some more, right?
Oh yeah,
I guess we'll sum up our feelings on it on YouTube as well, right?
yeah.
So if you're watching on Facebook, you don't have to go anywhere. Just stay where you are. YouTube is about to join us in 5, 4. No, now. Take it away, Jeffrey Jordan.
What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, TikTok? And what's up, Sir Daryl?
What's up,
How you
Jeffrey
doing?
Jordan? I'm good. Just
All
finished
right.
watching Sisters.
That's right. That's right. We were just watching Sisters on our Facebook channel. You can catch it in the description. I'll have it below where you can join our Facebook channel where we were watching a full pause and play. And we were watching Sisters, the latest and greatest episode. Which episode was it? I keep forgetting.
Oh, I duh. Oh, I got it. It is season 8, episode 14. Knock knock.
Knock knock. So in this episode up, I just jotted down a few key points. And after that we'll play picture it. But Trey and Pam in the office having sex, you call it Pam taking care of business. I call it Pam just being Pam goofing off in the office. You still stand by what you said?
But I mean, that was said in sarcasm. Yeah, hopefully she
I
would
know.
never. Hopefully she would never do anything like that when Karen was there, right? I mean, she
Of
was not
course.
professional when Karen was there, but she wasn't having. Well, I can recall a couple of. This is not the first time we've seen her have sex in that office. In fact, the night of the fire, or the that night, didn't she have a guy up in there?
She did. She did. But but I think what I was alluding to, what I wanted to mention about Trey, he's still around.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel about Trey? So is he past our smell test? Like, is there still an angle Trey is trying to work, or does he just like Pam for Pam?
I think that if there was an angle at this point to explore, we would have seen it by now. So by default, I think maybe we just read that all wrong.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Okay. I I'm biased against new characters, point blank, but he's been around. I can't think of a character that joined the fold that I didn't give crap to. I just thought that he had different motives, which I was justified in thinking because he was interested in Karen initially. So it was just kind of strange when he started talking to Pam.
Yeah, it
But
was very strange.
I don't yeah, I don't see anything right now, so can't comment on it.
Yeah.
Uh Rich Rich mentions this Rich is Sabrina's new boy toy.
Mm.
He mentions having an STD. Well, in his past, he's mentioned he hasn't had any testing done
Yeah,
recently,
I
and
don't think
he's
he's
had
actually. I don't think he said he had it. He was just saying it could be an STD because he's been, having lots of sex and he has not been getting tested and isn't really
okay, but
big
no,
on condoms.
so nobody says that unless they know that they've had a STD in the past. Nobody says that like
No,
it
no.
could be. That's what I think. That's what I think. If you are concerned, if you are concerned, and you with someone new, either you don't want to know or you already know, because it's not like back. You can find out if you really wanted to. If you started having sex with this girl, you're with this girl, committed. You trying to tell me you couldn't go down to the clinic and get checked out when you're getting serious with someone? That's what
Nope.
I think.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he knows that he's about to go to the hospital with Sabrina, and he knows that whatever it is, we're about to find out. She's gonna find out. I'm gonna find out. So he's softening the blow in case it comes down to that. He's preparing her for what it could be.
Right. And I'm more upset with her reaction. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I think we talked about it before. She
Yeah,
just kind of like, oh, I get tested, so we're fine.
yeah. I'm
And
not worried
that's
about it.
just not how it works.
I'm
That's
not
not
worried
how it
about it because
works.
I get tested all the time, and you ain't transferred nothing to me.
He could be perfectly fine and have no symptoms and still give you something, Sabrina. Like, come on.
STDs, despite what people think, they are very difficult to catch in a good working immune system because your body comes into contact with viruses and bacteria all the time, every day, and a functioning immune system kills them. They don't
Yeah.
they don't become a part of your DNA unless your blood cells are not able to kill them. There's a battle that goes on. If they win the battle, then you have these antibodies because now that they have had this fight. But most of that is killed on contact. It's You have to have a compromised, well, not have to, but a compromised immune system is the breeding ground for you to catch an STD, not necessarily whether or not just the person has it. Um, because yeah, it's not easy, especially the more serious ones. You got to be having a lot of sex or a compromised immune system usually to catch it.
Heard that. Danny and Tony. Is it too soon for Danny to be in another relationship?
I think anytime is too soon until she gets some work done. Like she said, that therapy is moving too slow. I don't know what she was expecting, but I just can't see Danny in a relationship that's going to be successful. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Hmm. All right. The last clip we saw in the episode, Gary was shown a picture by a detective, and it was a picture of Fatima.
Hmm.
And miraculously, he was just like, "She stabbed me," and he also remembered the picture with Zach
Yeah.
of Zach. So for me, I kind of side-eyed Gary, and I, even though I always side-eye him, but am I still believing that he doesn't remember anything, but now all of a sudden he remembers Fatima? I don't, I don't buy that.
I don't buy it either. And I see that because of the two things: the fact that he both said she's the one who hit me, he's the one who she's the one who stabbed me. He's the one who hit me or immobilized me. So now I think he's just lying. I don't think he has that as his memory at all. I for a while have said that he's just lying, especially when he came to Andy's house and he gave those shots, talking about the underwear and how yeah, you're definitely I'm bigger than your boyfriend or your other is smaller than me. Like when those things right there pushed me into the fact that this is all some sort of an act. And from that standpoint, I think he found the perfect scenario of who he wanted to blame for it. So I think he's just acting and lying. I think he remembers everything. But I don't know
I
why he's saving the person who did do it, though.
oh, is he? I mean, because he could be telling the truth, he could be lying because Fatima had a reason to stab him,
Yeah,
and
but he doesn't know
he
that.
wasn't.
If his memory is bad, he doesn't know anything about those reasons. And he also doesn't know if his memory is gone, he doesn't know that Fatima and Zach are connected in any way. So, that would
Well,
be one hell of a coincidence if they didn't really do it. That
no,
they
I'm
came
saying
together.
I'm saying we as viewers know. We as if he truly has amnesia, yes, I don't know how that works. I mean, does he did he get like a little glimpse or a flashback of the person stabbing him? I don't know. But I'm saying we as viewers know that Fatima does have a motive to stab him. He doesn't know if he truly has amnesia, but I'm saying we as viewers know. That's all
Right,
I'm
but
trying
I'm
to
saying he
say.
also doesn't know if he's telling the truth. He doesn't know that Fatima and Zach are connected in any way. So he just happened to remember some sorts of things and put together two people that, if his story is right, would have come together and done this just coincidentally.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
All right, guys. And if you are watching us live, we are reviewing Sisters, and we also going to have some crazy antics from other TV shows that we're going to be looking at also.
All right, just ignore
All right.
yeah, space in the middle. Go ahead.
Space in the middle. All right. So picture it. Uh, well, this is not really a picture. So Leslie, and I think you pronounce it Malachi. That's not, we know that that was the guy that Fatima called over to the house. And oddly enough, that is you didn't see the you didn't see the most recent episode of
Of Zatima,
Zatima,
I
right?
didn't, but I've
Yeah.
seen little clips of it.
All right, so boom. So and this isn't like a big, this is a no-brainer. So Leslie and Malachi got invited over by Fatima. My question is, why were they in that house? She wasn't expecting Zach to be home,
Mm.
but Fatima let these two people
Mhm.
that she really didn't know. She knew Leslie from the past, from way back in the day. Now we know that she kind of knows Malachi because they used to date. She let them in by telling them where the spare key was. So Daryl, so how can you justify Fatima telling
Why I
them
gotta justify it? Why you
the
gotta
spare?
why I
Well,
gotta
because
justify
I
it?
don't, because I know where I stand. I'm gonna tell you where I stand on this.
Uh-huh.
2025. This is not like back in the 80s where mamas had a spare key up under
This
a
ain't
rock
Claire
somewhere.
Huxtable's
This
house.
is this ain't Claire Constable's house. This is a nice neighborhood to where a futuristic house where they got the thumbprint scanner, I'm pretty sure. So it makes no sense to have a freaking spare key under a lock somewhere in a barnyard or something like that. And even if you do have a spare key, why are you giving it out to them? Why are you giving it out to Leslie, who you haven't seen for years? Does that make any sense, or Daryl?
I can't make sense of that at all. No.
And
And
to
why are you
add
even
insult to
entertaining when your man is in county jail?
what the you would now see, I'm surprised you saying that because you were all for it. You were all for it.
Well, I'm
And
not all for entertaining. I didn't say I was all for it. I understood the logic, is what I said. But I wasn't for what
Sir
she did.
Daryl, do you know the biggest problem with this? She used to date Malachi. She used to, I hope I'm saying his name right, Malachi. She used to date him. You gotta know that is gross. That is gross. She used to date this guy and he is in this house. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. Sir Daryl.
I mean, Zach used to screw um Fatima's friend.
Fatima's friend. You
Yeah,
talking about Belinda?
yeah.
They weren't together then. And we already know Zach is a male prostitute. Come on. That is crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. And you know what I just realized? My biggest problem with Fatima is she's a pot stirrer. Pot stirrer, baby. Fatima is the biggest pot stirrer that and it just dawned on me. She's a pot stirrer, getting all the seasoning at the bottom of the pan. Bringing people to this house. The whole point of bringing this guy over here was to help Angela out. What is this big dinner for? It was supposed to be a 2-second conversation. I don't get it, but whatever. That's all I got for that. Picture it, boom. Um, there was a few posts where people talked about and Danny and the her new boyfriend. But basically, the person said that when Danny dated Preston, oh, she didn't have anxiety. She didn't have stress. She didn't have this. And my thing is, just because it didn't manifest at the time doesn't mean it didn't exist. So, the person in this post, they were basically trying to blame everything on Tony, basically saying that, oh, Tony is the one bringing all this extra stress and anxiety to Danny because when Preston was around, these things didn't exist.
Mm.
I don't agree with that. What do you stand on with that,
Well,
Sir Darrell?
no, I think that part of what Danny is going through right now is her becoming slightly more aware of her situation. Maybe even counseling has just drudged up some stuff in her where she is not necessarily in the same bubble that she was in before, where everything just gets ignored, everything just gets denied. There's some nuance of growth that's going on in there, but that's a triggering type of a thing. Her problem seems to come out of her realizing the dark place that she's been in. That's the way I see it.
So basically, so it has nothing to do with these two particular guys that she's been dating, right?
Not, no, it doesn't have anything to do with them, but the experiences are so different that right now she's in reflection, which she could have gone into reflection with Preston, but it just didn't happen.
Right, right. So let's just say she met Tony first and went through the motions and met
Correct.
Preston secondly.
Correct.
It would have been the same outcome, right?
Yes, but Preston just would have been the white savior in that regard. He would have been the white man who came along to save her from her misery. That's the way it would have.
Yeah, right.
That's the
Got
way.
it. Yeah, that's what it would be. So, Preston just got the short end of the stick on that
Right.
one, basically.
Right.
It,
Right.
but yeah, okay. So we on the same page with that one. That's all I had to say about that. Picture it. Oh, we already talked about this. Rich has sperm issues. And basically, I was just saying that is Sabrina gonna stay around, or is she gonna leave? I say if he has sperm issues, this is a deal breaker for Sabrina, and she may say she's okay with it, but I think ultimately this will take a toll on their relationship because he wants to be the biological father and he can't. Now, if they do like you said, and they have do it the old fashioned natural way, they could do that. But does Sabrina want to do that? Does Sabrina want to go the old fashioned way when she's invested so much money and time into this newfangled way?
No,
Do you think she wants to?
she don't even want to
Right.
do it the old-fashioned way before knowing that, and that would have been cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So no, she's
Mm-hmm.
not going to
Because
want to
she's
do it the old-fashioned way. She's going to not want him to be the father, and all of this is going to boil down on whether or not he is okay with somebody else being the father. And I think he's not going to want that. I think he's going to. I think that's going to be a deal breaker for him.
but so if it's a deal breaker for him, do you think he stays or does he leave?
I mean, he leaves if this is a deal breaker for him.
I think something could be a deal breaker for somebody, but they can still stay
They just,
just because they
yeah,
don't want. That's what I
yeah,
think was going to
yeah.
happen. He,
I just don't see that. I think he leaves
that's
if
all
it's
I
a
got.
deal breaker for him.
That's all I got for that.
Ah,
Picture it. All right, so picture in this scenario, Ruth and Diakon escape and start a new life. They start a new spinoff, Sir Darrell. So what's life like for Ruth and Diakon if they escape the compound? What's life like, and what would be the name of the show?
um, Ripley's Believe It or Not. That would be the name of the show. I don't
Wow.
know what life would be like, but I think that show would be so boring for some reason. I just do not see it happen, or I don't see it being interesting. But maybe somebody could make it interesting. But I will watch it. I'm watching it regardless. Like there's no way I'm not watching this show. And even if it's boring, I'm watching until it's gone. I am so into Ruthless that I will watch boring Ruthless versus not. I'm not turning away from any spinoffs or any of that stuff. Um, but I hope that doesn't happen.
So
Uh,
if it airs on PBS and Nickelodeon, would you still watch?
Nickelodeon? Can you
if
imagine? Can you imagine anything from Ruthless on Nickelodeon? Even though they got a whole compound full of kids, they can't be on Nickelodeon.
like the intro starts off all aggressive, and then you just see Ruth dropping off the child. All right, I see you later.
or they have some issue at the compound and they bring in the juice and all the kids are about to be killed. It just and then stopped at the last minute. What's the name of that? Oh, Young Dylan. That's the show that's currently. Have you, out of curiosity, have you tried to watch Young Dylan?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we ain't never reviewing Young Dylan, but if you ever just have a moment, just try to watch one episode of Young Dylan, and I would just like to know how far you got, whether or not you were able to get
Okay.
10 minutes in, 12 minutes in. At what point did you say, I can't do this?
I got you. But
Anyway, back to
with
Daika.
this with this scenario, I would think there would be it would be a life of them looking over their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking the premise of the show, they've escaped and they want to stay gone. They have to live off the grid,
Mm-hmm.
because now we know the highest is send everybody to find Diakon. We can't live without a Diakon, so they've sent people to either murder him or to bring him back. So they're living off the grid. So I feel like their life would be spent looking over their shoulders, and I think that would kind of be it would be interesting. Uh, how would they pay the bills? I don't know. Do they have money? I don't know. I don't want to see him getting a job somewhere because that would make it boring. You know. I don't know. I don't know how we would work through that, but I know they would have to be on the road, on the move. It could be interesting. I don't know. That's all I got for
Yeah, I'm watching it regardless. Do we have a return date
that.
for Ruthless?
I don't. I was supposed to look it up, but I don't.
Okay. I've just seen some posts that makes me think that maybe something was announced.
Hmm.
Are you able to read
History.
that?
But I think I know it. I can't see it, but I think I know what it's about. So in this scenario, the your daughter or your children or child is at the Rakadushi compound being held hostage. So they have your children and they have $500,000 of your dollars. You get to pick a team from this list to save your children and recoup your money. Who would do the best job? So we have Saul Goodman. Do you know Saul Goodman?
No.
So he's from a show called Better Call Saul, and he's like an expert lawyer. We have Uncle Phil and Jeff. Do you know them?
No.
Oh Jesus, that's from that's from the show. It's Bel Air, and that's the revised that's the revised version of Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but
Okay.
it's more serious, and it's called Bel Air.
All
Now
right.
you don't watch nothing, Sweet Darrow. Next, and then we got, of course, Blue and Madam. Would they be a good team to recoup your children and your money? I feel like they would probably want a big cut of your money and want something in
Oh, they
return. So I
would.
wouldn't
They
pick
would for sure.
them. You got Ghost and Tommy, which you don't watch that show either.
No.
Oh Jesus. So Ghost is a mastermind, and Tommy, he's oh man, he's a goon, a smart goon.
What show is this?
And who else? That's
That
what you
50
call
Cent
it?
show?
Power.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Jesus, Daryl, you don't watch nothing. And then we got Annalise, and you don't watch that either. How to
But I
get
know
away
who
with
she is.
murder.
But I know who
And
she is.
so out of the people you don't know, who would you pick to to get your child back and to get your
Out of
half a
all of
million
these
dollars
people,
back.
I'm gonna go with Blue and Madam. The only other person I know is Annalise, and I mean, I watched one season of that show. I don't remember seeing her doing anything that would make me think she can go into dangerous situations. And I would trust in a courtroom maybe, but no, I got to go with Blue and Madam.
All
And
right.
I would love to
Uh,
see Madam on the compound. I got to say that would be an interesting thing.
she get her behind handed to her.
I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
see her
she
with
get her
Elder
behind.
Mother.
Yeah, she would get tortured. Yeah, all that's gonna be gone. All that makeup gonna get wiped off her face. Yeah.
What about Blue? Same thing.
Oh, you trying to say both of them would be there?
I'm saying, how would Blue handle? How would she hold up on the compound?
I think Blue knows how to follow, so Blue would be a better fit there. She could read the room and be like, "Listen, I need to
Yeah, in order to stay
get
alive, I
in
got to be
and
humble for a minute.
yeah, and become an elder or something like that." Yeah, she
Ain't no chance, Madam is humbling herself to even figure any of that out.
no, not at all, not at all. She would be beheaded so quick.
Oh God, you're killing me.
Picture it, Hannah killed that baby, and I and I posted this years ago, and people was just going crazy about the way I phrased it. But a few weeks ago, I went back and rewatched the episode. Excuse me. I rewatched the episode where uh Hannah took the grandchild, which is Candy. Her name was Candy, right?
Candy.
Candace.
Yeah, I mean some people
Candace.
call her Candy.
Took Candace's Candy Cane, Candace
Yeah,
baby out of foster care. So if I recall, the child was put into foster care by Candace, and I'm pretty Candace kind of had like an agreement. She kind of knew the caseworker. So Candace was checking in when she wanted to. Candace had a plan. People were telling me, "Oh no, Hannah just wanted to look out for her grandchild. She was doing what she thought she was." If I recall, Hannah had took the child out of foster care and was living in a freaking motel.
hmm
One of the raggediest motels I could think about, and the child ended up getting shot. Right? If
that's
if I
all correct.
recall,
You are absolutely correct.
that's why I said Hannah got the baby killed. Hannah got the baby killed because Candace had a plan, whether you like it or not, it was working. And Candace would quarterly or however often she would check in on the child, she would go and check in on her child. But Candace had it to where no one could use her child as leverage on her because nobody knew where the child was, right?
hmm
And Hannah messed that up. Everyone was saying, "Oh no, no, she didn't kill the child." I'm like, "No, she didn't physically kill the child, but she had it not been for her actions, the child would still be alive." And I'm going
That's
to ask
correct.
your
That's
your
right.
your,
That's
your
right.
views on that.
Absolutely. That's in a legal case, it would be manslaughter because she didn't physically do it herself, but her negligence is what did it. Now, she couldn't be convicted of manslaughter in the court of law because of this. But it's interesting. I remember when all of that was going on, and I never really put all of the pieces together about how Candace had this plan and how she did this meticulously in order to get all of this done. I didn't think about much of it until the baby actually died. And I thought to myself, because I remember thinking, this is going to be one of those Tyler Perry things where when it comes back, he's not going to be dead. And it literally crushed me that he actually was dead for real. In fact, they even showed like the coffin and everything. That just threw me. Um, but yeah, no, Hannah is the reason that little boy got killed.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember this was before I had my own. This is before I had my own Facebook group, and I posted it. Yeah, I posted it in another Ruthless, Tyler Perry group or something like that. and they were just going in like, no, no, she didn't. You got to rewatch the episode. I say, I don't got to rewatch nothing. I'm telling you what I remember. You know, the boy was tucked away.
Um, but yeah, no, Hannah is the reason that little boy got killed.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember this was before I had my own. This was before I had my own Facebook group, and I posted it. Yeah, I posted it in another Ruthless, Tyler Perry group or something like that. And they were just going in like, no, no, she didn't. You got to rewatch the episode. I say, I don't got to rewatch nothing. I'm telling you what I remember. The boy was tucked away, safe,
We didn't see that
and she
he
took
was being
him.
abused or anything like that.
Say it again.
We didn't see anything about him being abused or anything like that either.
No, no. And like I say, Candace, she was visiting the child because usually when somebody's in foster care, when you relinquish your rights, you don't get to see. I don't think you get to keep tabs on them anymore. But I
Mm.
think she kind of had some kind of deal, if I'm not mistaken, because she got to visit when she wanted, and Hannah messed that up.
Yeah,
So yeah,
she was involved,
she was involved. She was involved.
but her mother
Yeah.
was making it seem
That's
like Hannah was making it seem like she like didn't know anything about him or where he was. In fact, yeah, I mean she knew exactly where he was. In fact, after Hannah got involved, that's when she stopped knowing where he was.
Mm-hmm.
She kept
Uh-huh.
him
Because
safe
Hannah
from the
took
father.
him.
The father was insane.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Because once Hannah took him to this freaking motel, I still can't get over this nasty motel she was living in.
yeah,
And that's where everyone knew where the child was.
yep,
And he
yep,
was murdered. Thanks to Hannah. Thank you, Hannah.
yeah. Congratulations, Hannah.
Picture it. I don't know why I always put Florida Evans in these things. Okay, so boom, you've just passed away. You're at the pearly gates. There's one stipulation, baby. You need one person to plead your case to let you into heaven. Who would do the best job, Sir Daryl?
I'm going with Hannah.
Why?
You know,
Why Hannah?
because she talked so much stuff when she wanted to like be holy and pretend to be like all righteous. She could put them words
Uh
together. She might be able to manipulate God. She might be able to do it. The other two I don't think is going to plead the best case. I think Mrs. Evans is just going to just be emotional as hell. I don't know that God just respects that level of emotion. And what's her name? The other one?
from Greenleaf.
Yeah,
I forgot her name. Lady May.
Lady
Lady
May.
May.
Lady May is great when she's dealing with a heathen. Like when she's dealing with people who can't come back, like can't respond well from the scriptural standpoint or whatever. She fights her battles with people that she knows she can beat. If she thinks that person might be on her level, she gonna keep quiet. I think that Hannah is the one who's just gonna. She might be intimidated by the people at the pearly gates, but she's still gonna shoot all her shot. And she the one. She's the one I'm gonna put confidence in. Who you
All
got?
right, so I'll I'm gonna agree. So I think wait, so you think Hannah would plead the best case? I hmm, you know what? I was gonna say Lady May, but I feel like Lady May, she is more she's got a lot of she's glamorous.
She put on a show.
She has a lot of material things, and I think at the pearly gates, she's got a lot of skeletons, which a lot of people got skeletons. I think I think that she's just gonna be shut down. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hannah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
Why not
Hannah.
Miss Evans
Yeah.
though? Why not Florida?
I thought about Mrs. Evans, but when you think about Florida, The only Florida will look up at the, she will look up at the little picture of Jesus all the time, but Florida does not. Florida, she likes being in the ghetto. She doesn't like to prosper. Uh, I don't have a great reason, but I I don't think Florida is gonna plead the case for me. I
Yeah.
think Florida will say there's a reason why I'm not going. She should. I think Florida turn it around as like, well, you gambled back in the day, so that's why you're not going. Uh, I feel like she would go against me or something like
She
that. I
be
don't
end up talking to you. She gonna turn away from the people at the pearly gates, and she gonna start explaining to you why you don't have the right to be up in there. That's what she gonna end up doing.
Yeah. Saying that I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet, or something like that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, Hannah ain't gonna do none of that stuff. She gonna passionately plead your case to the whoever's in charge that day.
okay, that's all I got for now.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for watching and joining us for Picture It and our review of Sisters, as wacky as it was. We already rated the episode,
We
right?
did. Yep.
Yeah, I think I said what, 6.5. Wait, I
Yep.
said
I
seven
gave
and
it
a
a
half, something
7.
like that. All right, you got anything else?
No, sir.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit those notifications, and we'll let you know when we're on. Later, everybody.
Bye, everybody.